Welcome back to our channel, where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. We provide you with the exciting news. Catherine shocked the world by wearing the most striking red gowns and tiara while stealing the spotlight. I have been documenting Princess Catherine's style evolution since the exuberant flag-adorned days of the 2011 engagement tour. I have documented her endeavors with cornflower blue co-dresses, her flirtations with green midi dresses, and her nocturnal excursions in black tie velvet. Nothing stimulates the comment threads or my pulse quite like the time she enters a ballroom adorned with royal jewels and the color imbued with the greatest symbolism, crimson. After 14 years covering the Catherine beat, red should become habitual, a color as recognizable as the public service grin she honed during her time at Cambridge. Each performance continues to rouse me, much to how an experienced theatrical critic might be astonished by a rendition of Hamlet delivered with novel rhythm. The defining contradiction of Catherine and Scarlett is that it is never novel, but it is seldom the same. 8 July, 2025, Windsor Castle, French State Banquet. Catherine's recent appearance in crimson and tiara occurred among Baroque festivities at Windsor. The convoy of the French president had just passed the quadrangle when messages arrived on my phone. She's attired in a complete scarlet ensemble, cape included. Upon the release of the official photos, my email exploded. Sarah Burton, whose design business moved from Alexander McQueen to Givenchy last spring, causing a stir in Paris, crafted a crepon silk gown that billowed behind Catherine like a silk banner. The front was misleadingly minimalist, a slender belt and a simple round neckline. However, when seen from the side, the princess reveals Burton's intention, a split-back cape that sways with each movement, reminiscent of the martial cloaks Napoleon once adorned throughout Europe, now repurposed for a spirit of cordiality. Positioned atop a center-parted chignon, the Cambridge lover's knot tiara had a significant historical impact. Romantic royal enthusiasts recall it as Diana's preferred tiara, although to experienced gem historians, its heritage is even more ancient. Queen Mary commissioned it in 1913, with pearls that oscillate like little metronomes. Against the crimson silk, the pearls shone with a pristine whiteness, as if the French tricolor had been encapsulated inside a single woman's form. I analyzed social data. 3 million likes on the primary Kensington royal image within 6 hours, 64,000 comments on TikTok praising power Cape Catherine, and an increase in searches for the keyword lover's knot tiara meaning. Retailers capitalized on the excitement at 9 a.m. the next morning. Boohoo.com introduced a rapid-release cape gown named the Windsor. It incapacitated their website for 45 minutes. Critics saw depth underneath the ostentation. Royal stylist Andre Camano said that Catherine had draped the tricolour over her shoulders, a symbolic gesture towards her French guests that emphasized camaraderie while asserting prominence. The Parisian journal Madame Figaro said that Burton's red symbolized a cure story, representing the resurgent phoenix after Catherine's extensively recorded health absence earlier in the decade. Regardless of the underlying meaning, I repeatedly viewed the movie of her climbing the St. George's Hall staircase, seeing how the silk cape's veins flowed behind her like animated haute couture. After 14 years, I can attest that I felt a resurgence of my former pulse. 6 December 2022 reception for the Diplomatic Corps, Buckingham Palace. Revert to 2022, a winter when Britain had an economic downturn and royal corridors seemed muted. Catherine responded to simplicity with abundant brilliance. Jenny Packham's LED column, crafted from ruby red tulle and adorned with tone-on-tone crystals, resembled a disco ball in the picture gallery. Each camera flash reverberated over the plaster ceiling, creating red constellations. The lotus flower, or papyrus, tiara served as the focal point of the narrative, substituting the historical significance of the lover's knot with Art Deco playfulness. I recall examining high-resolution Getty images and seeing how the tiara's fan patterns reflected the beaded shoulder pads of Packham's design, an echo of geometry. The ensemble was described by observers as holiday diplomacy, and it's understandable why this characterization was made. In December 2022, Downing Street sought to avoid any further distractions from a conspicuously festive royal during a time of dismal news. Catherine accomplished the extraordinary, composing a mince pie season message devoid of any Christmas cliches. She wore her hair down, a rare deviation that ignited a fervor on Twitter. The tiara hovered over her waves, like a crystal halo seen through a winter's snowfall. The fan response was almost euphoric. On what Kate wore, readers exchanged hypotheses on her clandestine hairdresser, said they saw new bronzer, and likened her to Jessica Rabbit in a positive light. A slow-motion clip featuring Mariah Carey on YouTube garnered 1.2 million views overnight. A seasoned blogger, found myself penning the words Ruby Tsunami in my notepad, feeling both humiliated and really delighted. 8 December 2016 Diplomatic Corps, Identical Palace, Distinct Atmosphere. Rewinding to 2016, employing Catherine's technique of donning a familiar dress adorned with strange jewels, we get to this point. The worldwide atmosphere was similarly disquieted. Brexit upheaval dominated headlines. Social media evolved into a combative platform. While inside Buckingham Palace, Catherine orchestrated an unexpectedly poignant continuation. She donned her 2015 Jenny Packham scarlet ball gown again, a lace applique bodice, satin waistline, and tiered tulle skirt, reminiscent of Technicolor Balanchine. However, she exchanged the lotus for the lover's knot, indicating a newfound familiarity with Diana's most iconic headpiece. The action exhilarated seasoned gem observers. Lauren Kiatna of The Court Jeweler commended the swap logic, indicating that it demonstrated Catherine's growing comfort with items rich in both weight and historical significance. She coordinated the tiara with the Queen's diamond-framed earrings and the Edinburgh wedding bracelet, a cross-generational assemblage of gems signifying continuity. The repetition seemed transformative. Sustainable fashion was emerging in the spotlight, and Catherine made her mark early by demonstrating that a 6,000-pound couture gown could be worn several times rather than discarded after a single use. Fans referred to it as her Snow White in Technicolor moment, a revival of a timeless fairy tale. In my live blog, I introduced the term fashion déjà vu, and several readers informed me that the word resonated with them. 20 October 2015, Chinese State Banquet, Buckingham Palace. The beginning of Catherine's Scarlet Tiara drama merits more than just footnote recognition, since first events, like the opening chords, provide the thematic foundation for subsequent developments. In 2015, Catherine donned a tiara under the palace chandeliers for the first time, opting for Queen Elizabeth's lotus flower instead of the lover's knot. The color story was clear. Red is the most auspicious color in Chinese culture, associated with wealth and festivity. Her custom Jenny Packham design embodied the meaning with elegant flourish, cap sleeves adorned with lace, a bodice that glimmered as if crafted from Beijing lanterns, and a tall skirt rising like an inverted pagoda roof. The diplomatic impact intensified. Forbes said that she had enveloped herself in a red homage as powerful as a 7-course toast. Television anchors elucidated the significance of lotus blossoms to primetime audiences. My data analytics revealed a 300% increase in Google searches for why did Kate Middleton wear red? Evidence that a single color may function as a kind of soft power signaling. What continues to excite me 9 years later is Catherine's bangs. Indeed, fringe. She unveiled newly cut bangs that accentuated her forehead under the tiara, a counter-classical move that some purists derided but most millennials love. ELLA.com promptly published a lesson entitled How to Tiara with Bangs, prompting us to acquire new syntax for a classic adornment. Threads connecting the crimson tapestry. 4 instances over a decade may seem like insignificant markers when juxtaposed with Catherine's navy blue ensemble or her cherished bottle green collection. Nonetheless, they delineate a more compelling narrative trajectory than any other color scheme. Red assumes 3 separate functions in her regal attire. 1. Power and diplomacy. The cape gown of 2025 and the dinner dress of 2015 encapsulate a decade in which red serves as a symbol of diplomacy. In each instance, the color signifies not just the lady, but also the space she inhabits: France in Windsor, China in London. 2. Celebration in times of austerity. The resplendent column gown of 2022 provided a morale boost during a dismal winter. The 2016 iteration, worn again, advocated for sustainability prior to its acceptance as a standard in royal protocol. 3. Personal evolution. The transition from using the modest lotus flower to adopting Diana's lover's knot illustrates Catherine's increasing ease with royal heritage and public anticipation. Upon examining my 14-year logbooks, I see that Catherine used red in frequently fewer than 10 prominent scarlet outfits in total. The restriction amplifies the effect. Each excursion punctuates the narrative like an exclamation point on a page mostly adorned in the subdued hues of Cambridge blue and garden party pastels. It also emphasizes the dual use of a tiara. Jewels alone may signify continuity, but when placed over a crimson gown, they become amplifiers. The Lover's Knot in 2025 celebrates Diana, while also acknowledging Catherine's resurgence post-illness, post-speculation, now clearly seen against the backdrop of cardinal silk. The lotus flower in 2015 conveyed Art Deco fun on crimson. Why 4 performances continue to impress a disenchanted blogger? I am often questioned, typically with cynicism, about how somebody who has written tens of thousands of pages about Catherine, continue to discover novelty in red chiffon. The response is not originality, but rather diversity within a motif. Similar to a jazz classic reinterpreted by virtuosos, the chord sequence persists, although the improvisations vary. In 2025, the cape supplanted the gown, martial and aerodynamic. In 2022, jewels surpassed cloth in prominence. In 2016, it was a philosophical reiteration, sustainability manifested in taffeta. In 2015, it was a cultural tribute accompanied by a haircut. Furthermore, Catherine's timing is precise. She reserves crimson until the narrative necessitates a climax. Following her health crisis in 2024, discussion arose over her potential to wear a tiara again. Windsor, 2025, Crimson Proclamation. Following extensive Brexit discussions, the romantic red of 2016 indicated continuity. As the globe prepared for pandemic statistics, recall the early indications in late 2019? Catherine transitioned to securing teal and ivory, reserving red for when morale needed enhancement. The ripple effect sector, emulation, and identity. Let us discuss the trickle-down effect. On 9 July 2025, 4 fast fashion companies offered caped red gowns. ASOS's variant sold out within 2 hours. Packham's crystal columns from 2022 inspired high street holiday sparkle collections that now prevail in December displays from London to Sydney. Google's Global Fashion Trends report for Q4 2022 identified red sequin column dress as a prominent search term, noting a 500% increase week-on-week after the event. Jewelers experience it as well. Sales of pearl drop earrings surge whenever the Lover's Knot appears. Wedding designers have seen an increase in brides coordinating hang-drop pearls with red reception gowns. Catherine may refrain from promoting, but she stimulates action. If journalism represents the first rough draft of history, then fashion blogging serves as the preliminary rough sketch of feeling. 4 red dresses over a decade, each adorned with diamonds, may seem to be a simple change of attire. However, interwoven within such moments are indicators of the monarchy's emotional range, a gauge of popular enthusiasm for ceremonial displays, and a measure of Britain's soft power. Thank you for watching the video. Which outfit do you like the most? Please let us know your thoughts, and goodbye for now.